All right, this is going to be a relatively quick update because the weather this week is looking really good. We are expecting nice spring weather this week with temperatures in the 50s in the morning, 70s and 80s in the afternoon, and most days we're just going to see a lot of sunshine. We're going to add in a few clouds and a couple of stray showers from midweek through the end of the week, but no major storm coming until, guess when, the weekend. 2 weekends ago we had the major tornado outbreak. Last weekend we had another severe weather event, a couple of tornado warnings. In fact, one tornado touchdown. We did get confirmation that there was a tornado in Sharkey County last night. After a survey, it was determined to be an EF1 tornado with 90-mile-per-hour winds. It was on the ground for about 2.5 miles. It was 50 yards wide. No injuries, but it did produce damage to at least one home there in Sharkey County, a couple miles to the west of Rolling Fork. So not on the ground very long, but there was a tornado touchdown last night at EF1 in Sharkey County. We're not going to see any bad weather, though, for this week. We've got high pressure right now controlling the weather behind the front that came through yesterday. The front is going to kind of hang around, though. We're kind of getting into the time of the year later in the spring, moving into the summer, where it's going to be harder for these cold fronts to come all the way through with a ton of cold air. We may cool down a little bit. We could see the air dry out a little bit behind the front, which was the case today. Temperatures were just in the low 70s with sunshine and north wind and low humidity today, but by tomorrow we're going to be right back into the low 80s. Now, of course, dry behind our front. There you see nothing happening on Live IMAX 12, and at 8:30 it is still a pleasant 62 degrees out there, and temperatures will be falling into the, let's say, mid-50s overnight with fair skies. We're going to see a little bit more in the way of cloud cover developing first thing in the morning as the temperature drops to close to the dew point level, especially down in the Pine Belt. This is where we could see some issues with fog. There is now a dense fog advisory for a couple of counties in South Mississippi issued out of New Orleans. That's Pike and Walthall County. So there could be some reduced visibility in the morning for the morning commute just in South Mississippi. That's not going to last long. As soon as the sun comes up and the temperatures warm up, fog goes away, and the rest of the day is just going to be sunny and warmer than today, about 10 degrees warmer than it was this afternoon. That'll put us in the low to mid 80s for highs. So our frontal boundary is going to hang around over the next day or two, and we're going to see little disturbances kind of moving right along the front from northwest to southeast, and that could spark off maybe a shower or two. We're talking about a 10% chance of rain on Wednesday, up to about a 20% chance as we get into Friday of this week. This is not the big storm that's coming. We've got another, unfortunately, severe weather event coming, it looks like, over the weekend. Now, it's a long way away. We'll get the timing nailed down as we get closer to it, but for right now, it looks like the front's going to be coming through Sunday night into Monday, just like what happened last night. And similar situation, I think we could see large hail, strong winds, and we can't rule out a brief tornado. Again, the threats and the timing of this will be narrowed down as we get closer to this event. But right now, we're looking at least a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather, and pretty much over the entire area. Most of the state of Mississippi could be affected over the weekend. Between now and then, though, we're looking at good weather. Tuesday, tomorrow, it's going to be nice and sunny, no threat of rain whatsoever, and only stray showers really Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we'll be mostly dry as we go through the rest of this week, and then we get to Saturday. We're going to start to see better chances of scattered storms developing as that front approaches for later in the weekend. So for tonight, fair and mild. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-50s. And then tomorrow, we're looking at a beautiful spring day. It's going to be sunny and warm, a light west wind. Your high temperature at 82. Sun setting now at over or after a quarter after 7 o'clock. So here's a look at our next 8 days. 50s in the morning, upper 70s to low 80s in the afternoon through Friday. Then we get to the weekend, the chance of rain does go up. I think we will once again need to be weather aware late Sunday night, and then after the front moves through, just like today, it's going to be sunny, drier, just slightly cooler. I think our temperatures could dip into the possibly upper 40s by Tuesday morning of next week. Overall, though, this is not a bad picture. We're looking at just one bad day, probably Sunday, and we're going to get a little rain over the weekend. This often happens. We get into a weather pattern where we get storms coming in on a regular basis, and sometimes that's on a weekly basis, and it'll be the same day every week that we're getting the severe weather. Just so happens it's landing on the weekend. So this will be the third weekend in a row. I think we're going to have a threat for severe storms. All right, that is the latest. Meteorologist Roberto Zamora is going to be here tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, for your next weather update. We will see you then.